My name is Abbe Hardiman, and I am a survivor. Although my story is of personal survival, it also should be used as a cautionary tale. I was 32 years old when I was diagnosed with heart disease, and I know now that heart disease doesn't discriminate. For about 6 weeks in very early 2009, I started having some chest pains, some pressure in my chest that I didn't know what it was from. I thought maybe I just had a cold. I was walking my dog, Sam, in the morning, and it was when I was having these chest pains. And I'm walking in the morning, just on our usual walk, and I get to the end of the road, and it had gotten so bad I could barely breathe. Of course, I got back to the house, and I literally collapsed in the door. It was so incredibly painful, and I was so scared because I didn't know what was going on. I said, this is not good, and there's a problem, and I need to get this figured out because there's obviously something really wrong with me. On March 4th, 2009, I had my stress test, and I went into the hospital, and I remember hearing over the loudspeaker a cardiologist to room 3, and I remember I was in room 3. So the cardiologist comes in, and they're all talking, and it's a while that I'm laying on this bed just kind of waiting for them to come talk to me. And the cardiologist came over, who's now my current cardiologist, Michael Yatsik, and he took my hand to shake my hand and introduced himself, and he didn't let my hand go. And he said, I'm going to give it to you straight. And he said, you have some severe circulation issues with your heart, and you need to be admitted for surgery right now, today. Early in the morning after the first surgery, around 5 a.m., it was brought to our attention by my cardiologist that they had seen on the monitors that I had had an event, a small event, or a small heart attack because of a micro dissection of the artery by the stent. So the stent basically cut the artery and it 100% occluded, and which made me have a small minor heart attack. After that, every day was always a wait and see. Am I going to be ready for the third surgery? And every day I would ask, and it wasn't that day because there was just, I remember my cardiologist saying to me one time, I think it was after being in the hospital, he said, you had every complication but one, meaning I didn't die. So that was good. But the third surgery came probably 5 days after the second one, where they put just one stent into the RCA. So I left the hospital with a total of 4 stents. From the moment my boyfriend PJ arrived on March 4th, he never left my side. My family was begging him to go outside to get a breath of fresh air, take a drive, go get a coffee, and he just wouldn't. He was always there for me, and it was such a comfort to me to have him with me there all the time. And after my surgery, my cardiologist said that because my heart disease was so extensive and had been progressed so much at such a young age, that there had to be a family history of it. So he wanted everyone in my family to be checked. Both my older sisters, Lee and Sarah, were checked, and they were fine. A couple months after my surgery, my mom was finally checked, and it did come about that she had heart disease as well and had to have a double bypass. Obviously, there was a family connection, so I was so happy that she was checked early on. I mean, maybe she wouldn't have been checked for some time, who knows. More months later, my dad was going in to have knee replacement surgery, and through pre-op procedures, it was found that he had some heart issues as well. He ended up having 2 stents, and we were beyond shocked. I mean, here we are, 3 out of my 5 immediate family members with heart disease. After all of this, I knew I needed to make some severe changes in my life. I had always been a somewhat healthy person, but I really needed to step it up and be healthier because I want to be around as long as I can. I want to be with my amazing family who I absolutely love to pieces, and I want to be with my boyfriend, and I want to be with my dog, and I want to enjoy this life to its fullest. And I knew that this was it. I got to really make some changes now. And so far I've lost 65 pounds, and I've educated myself on nutrition and, fallen in love with the elliptical machine, and really just changed my life because it's worth it. Because I don't want to be a statistic where people go, she was mid-30s and died from heart disease. I don't want to be that person. I think that a huge lesson that I've learned in this as well is that you have to be your own best advocate. Nobody else knows what's going on in your body. No doctor can feel what's going on inside. I tell everyone I know now, if there's something wrong, ask about it. If you don't get the answer you want, ask somebody else, because it's your life. I'm so happy to be able to be a part of this with the American Heart Association and the Go Red for Women campaign as they work so hard to spread awareness of this horrible disease. I am a Go Red for Women survivor.